Good afternoon and welcome to the Market Wrap for week ending the 15th of October 2021. This is the APW Market Wrap with Stuart Williamson at the helm. This week we're going to cover the upcoming interest rate hikes in the UK. What does that mean for buy-to-let investors? What does it mean for us in general? You see all sorts of headlines coming out this week about what's going to go on with interest rates in the UK. The shock horror things are things like housing mortgage repayments to rise by 9% as interest rate spikes in the UK, hikes would hammer affordability, the spectre of forced sellers on the horizon, British homeowners to be hit hardest. Okay, let's just put this into context as to how we are in the UK with the buy-to-let market. The British interest rate policy is part of a global trend. In 2020, 87 out of 104 countries tracked by the data provider Central Bank News cut their interest rates. Now the pendulum's swinging the opposite way. So far in 2021, 32 countries have increased rates. In 18 of these, the rise is 1 percentage point or more. In Russia, it was 2.5%. Highly surprising, isn't it, in Russia? At the end of September, Norway raised its bank interest rate by 0.25 percentage points to 0.25. And they've signalled further hikes to 1.25% in 2022 are likely. Now the UK is very similar to Norway. We've had similar growth and we've had a similar recession. We've probably come out of the recession better than they have. In fact, it's a fact. We're just after the US, we're the most fastest growing GDP in the world. So you can probably look at Norway and think a similar sort of thing is going to happen in the UK, and it probably is. Possibly is. What effect will that have on the UK buy-to-let market? Okay, well, let's just see what the Bank of England is saying. The Bank of England have said at the weekend they've leaked information, and it's quoted here in the Telegraph as the Bank of England rate setters quite often signal their intentions before they alter policy, which is now we're seeing pretty regular hints that the Bank of England is preparing a hike. Most recently, the Monetary Policy Committee member Michael Saunders said, "I'm not in favour of using code words or stating our intentions in advance of a meeting too precisely. The decisions get taken at the proper time. But markets have priced in over the last few months an earlier raise in bank rates than previously, and I think that's appropriate. So bank rates will increase." The pricing is that they're talking about in Norway, which could occur here, points as many as 3 interest rate rises during 2022 and towards the end of this year. The research consultancy Pantheon Macro expects effective borrowing costs on all mortgages to be 0.8 percentage point higher at the end of next year than it currently is. Although these rises will be likely small and measured, but in reality it'll be the biggest interest rate hike since 2008. So what does that mean to your average mortgage? On an average £200,000 mortgage, I worked it out, or rather my colleague did, Callum, that £948 would go up to £1,034. That's an extra £90 or a 9% increase in payments. Now, most lenders would absorb some of that, but it still sounds like a lot. So let's put it into context. What else is going on out there in the marketplace? What happens if interest rates do go up? Okay. At current, we've got a fantastic rental income market going on. It's surging in buy-to-lets in the UK due to the property shortage, the search for space, and the repopulation of cities. Average rents across the UK have risen by 5% over the 12 months at the end of July. Rental growth hit 10-year highs in the East Midlands, 6.8%, North East, North West, and Wales. Nottingham is up by 7.9%, Newcastle 6.4%, even Bristol, which is a super expensive city, has seen a surge for space going on, is up by 6.3%. Only, blessed, Aberdeen is down by 1.9%. What unites all these locations is that they're some of the most affordable places to rent, and the proportion of income needed by a single earner to pay monthly rent is below the UK average of 32%, for example, at 21% in Wigan. In quite a few other areas, the rents went up, specifically cities. Manchester rents were up by 2.4%, Birmingham 2.5%, Leeds 1.9%, and Edinburgh 2.2%. So it sees a swing back. So the point I'm trying to make is that rental growth is great. So if you've got a buy-to-let mortgage and it does go up, then you're going to be able to take a lot of the pain out of that, because the rents will increase and we'll be quite easily able to charge more rent. So will this rent increases continue? I think so, because early signs are that housing supply shortage, otherwise known as the demand supply imbalance, is likely to continue. Data from Knight Frank say there were 13 new buyers for every property listed in the UK in September. Over the last 5 years, the only time demand that it has exceeded that was in January 2020, the first month of the short-lived Boris bounce, if you remember that, after his election. The transaction pipeline indicates that robust sales volumes will continue to eat into supply. The number of offers accepted in September was fractionally higher than the same month last year, 2 months into the stamp duty holiday. Okay, about 88% above the 5-year average. So rentals are supporting it, are supporting the market, and that will help us absorb some of these rate hikes. What's happened since the last rate hike? Well, the last rate hike was in 2018, and since then rental income has grown by 13.7%, according to HomeLet. Okay, that's very positive. What about wage growth? Okay, according to the ONS, Office of National Statistics, post-1945, wage growth went up by 2% per annum in the UK. In the last 4 years alone, it's gone up by 14.3%. So wages are increasing. Why is that? One of the main drivers is a shortage of labour post-Brexit, plus the economy is changing. In rapid growth areas of the economy, we've got huge shortages of labour. If you look at around the sort of medtech, biotech, artificial intelligence centres of Oxford, Cambridge, North London, then they've got a 15% increase in wages to attract people to come there. Whereas the old industries are suffering and dying out. And so we're seeing a complete change in the UK employment situation. A shortage post-Brexit of skilled labour, even goes as far as HGV drivers. I mean, who would have thought we'd have a shortage of those? We'd have to bring the army in to deliver petrol. So, Brexit is having a major effect on what's happening in the UK, and it's a great engine for change. There's going to be a fair amount of pain on the back of that. But the point is it's change that was necessary, because basically real wage inflation, real wage growth has actually been going backwards over the last 14 years. So people actually have been earning less until last year, with inflation and increase of imports going on. So you might have more in your pay packet, but it doesn't go as far. So to summarise, both wage and rental growth supporting the buy-to-let market is a socio-economic change occurring in employment, and attitudes about how we want to live are driving house prices up and maintaining a shortage. The key to it all, I think, is the UK government is in more debt than it has been in any point since 1945. While interest rates do need to rise to mitigate the effect of a large amount of inflation, the UK needs more than worrying about inflation. The UK government needs full employment so it can levy taxes and it can get money back into its coffers to pay the debts that it's built up. And it needs inflation to erode away that debt. So interest hikes may be coming, but they won't be going to a level where we've got hikes would hammer affordability, spectre of forced sellers, British homeowners just hit hardest. It'll be copable, and the market will carry on. Thanks for your time.